What's poppin', yo? You rocking with Jiggy Jones, and today we got a special guest in the building. The man himself, Dre London. What's going on, my guy?
How are you?
Everything's well. Everything's well. You know, it's a beautiful day in LA, Sunnyside, California.
Yes, definitely. Beautiful.
Exactly. Now, what I like to describe you as is a serial entrepreneur. And I'm sure you would agree.
Definitely.
So you have your hands in so many things. Music, of course. You have fashion. You have tequila, and now you're going into seltzer.
Yeah.
Now, why seltzer at this particular time, this moment? Why is the time so perfect for you?
We've been working on it throughout the pandemic, so it seems like now, but with things everything I do takes so much time because I have this word where I say in my office, or it's two words, but I put them together called pre and pre. So before everything's ready, there has to be a pre, and then the preview, and then be ready to start being able to put out to the world. So it takes time to build products, and we went back and forth like 11 times on SKRT Seltzer between me, Post, Jay, the team, just going back and forth while in the pandemic, getting deliveries from the factory in the middle of America to just tasting it. And it took like 11 different tries to get all of the flavors perfect how we wanted. But as I said, it was like, it wasn't, let's just go and do a seltzer. It was more because I started this company called Liquid Assets. And Liquid Assets basically is a liquor management company. And I don't know if any in the world or how many there is in the world, but from what I've been told, shout out to Cedric, who now works for us, and he's worked in alcohol for 18 plus years. Came from St. Louis, worked for Anheuser-Busch, and then moved on and worked for another huge beer company. And now he's working with us in
So you're
sales.
stealing all the industry veterans and bringing on to your team.
Yeah, Cedric said something crazy, and he said he had to look me up because he as you know, in this world, there's different worlds. Just because I might be good at what I do in my field doesn't mean someone else in another field knows who I am. So Cedric said that he looked me up before we did the meeting about me taking him on to work for Liquid Assets. And he said he was very shocked, and he said, pardon me, but this is the first time I've ever had an opportunity or seen basically a guy that looks like me and him owning a liquor management company in that space. And when I say liquor management company, I mean basically I've launched a company that can launch brands for any celeb, for any artist. Like basically if an artist tomorrow, it doesn't have to be me or Post, this is like on a bigger scale. Any artist that wanted to do their own liquor, we could provide the service, plug and play. So I wanted to be sort of like a modern day Diageo. I didn't want to just, because I knew we already had the wine, Maison 9, and that was successful we started that in 2019, going to the south of France, back and forth. And then 2020, during the pandemic, we launched Maison 9, when everyone told us
not to do it.
Yes, they were saying, are you sure? You sure you're not going to end up with cases on the side of the street? This is a pandemic. Are you sure? When people tell you something like that at home, you got to follow your own gut feeling, because that gut feeling helped us launch one of the fastest growing wines today. Because in the pandemic, all people was doing was sitting down at home, scrolling.
Watching things.
Scrolling.
And having fun
and drinking. So, of course, when we had the pre-sale, we did a pre-sale, and no wine company, no one has ever seen this before. The website crashed.
Really?
That was selling the wine, because you have to have a middle, like a distributor, and a whole alcohol business. You can't sell direct to consumer. There's a way you have to do it for a middle guy. Anyway, they never seen nothing like it. Their whole it crashed. Their site crashed. We sold 50,000 bottles in 2 days of the pre-sale.
Sheesh. And that was the first time.
And that was the first time I ever had any experience in alcohol or anything. Now, I was already working behind the scenes on my tequila, because it took a long time, and like Post knows that there's just so much that goes behind making a tequila. People don't even understand the agave situation. People don't understand what it really takes. Like that you even have to grow a plant, agave, for 6-7 years, over 5 years before you can even put that into the oven and make tequila. Most people just drink tequila and don't even understand the purity of it or what's the difference between the purity and stuff.
I can see that it's a process.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. But going back to SKRT, it just felt right. I was also having a conversation with Tiger in an airport. It was just, the timing of Seltzer was just perfect. And it was like 2020 when it all came up. And then I came with the name idea. Then I had to go and buy the domain. Then I had to go and get the trademark. For all you people at home that don't understand, I'm trying to teach games, as I said, to people that look like me, who's never done anything like this before. Then I had to go and get the trademark. So I own the trademark for SKRT and SKRT. So if you try and get one or the other, both of them, yes, I own the trademark for it. So I first got the trademark, then I had to get the domain, which was like $50,000. Imagine spending $50,000 on something that ain't even out, idea. It's just in your brain.
Investment.
Yes, it's an investment, but I'm the key believer in investing in yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself, no one else is going to invest in you for you.
Now with the name, is it an acronym or is just the phrase SKRT?
It's the phrase SKRT. So like it's we're gonna have fun with this one, and it's really good. People can't believe how good it is. It's been at a few parties. It was at Jamil's Memorial Day party in Malibu. People's going crazy. Shout out to Rebels Group. Like everyone who tasted it, Austin Mahomes was looking at the drink like, what is this? Like people have been talking about it. So I'm really good. And the biggest thing about this and why I did this, the number two things why I did the Seltzer. I did the Seltzer because as Black people, I don't know to say that we don't drink Seltzer, but Seltzer hasn't really been something that I've seen in the Black communities. It's not really a go-to drink. But without knowing, drinking more Seltzer and light alcohol like this can save from diabetes because it's low in sugar. There's only 100 calories per can. I think it's like 2 grams of sugar, which is like next to nothing for alcohol. It's 5%. And at the same time, bro, you're being more health conscious while drinking alcohol. And then I don't know anyone from the culture that owns any alcohol. So with SKRT, I've brought in a few artists, a few of our friends as owners to have equity.
And who are those artists?
I brought in a few artists, a couple of artists. Like I know that there hasn't been no big announcements yet, but like we're talking to a few artists, and like it's OGZ, Trippy, Bia, Mario, of course Tyler Yahweh, Post. I'm just talking about having Snow, the product. Yeah.
Some names on there.
Yes, but a vast amount of today and tomorrow's artists that are able to have their own ownership in something. I don't know any artist that has an ownership in an alcohol brand, but yet they want to use their platform to promote their alcohol for them.
Exactly.
So why shouldn't some of the culture have a part of this themselves? And that's what I thought about with SKRT. The name SKRT is from the culture.
So it's only right that.
So it's only right that you bring it back. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I created this to give a percent, literally, to the culture, to promote it, to do what they do, and have the first malt-based liquor owned by anyone from the culture, whether they're Black, white, Mexican, but just overall from our environment, our generation. Our generation never had that chance before. So while doing Don Londres, why can't I do something for our culture?
And I think you're covering all 3 bases. So you have the tequila, you have the wine, you have the seltzer, which is going to be more introduced into our culture.
Correct.
You know, I always I heard watching an interview, and someone said that, you know, why can't an artist, you know, when can an artist IPO? Because an artist is a business.
Correct.
And I feel like with your vision, that's the lane that you're creating with these artists by giving them the ownership in something that isn't as popular, but as everyone galvanizes around it,
you know what happens. It gets popular.
Exactly. So why don't we taste one of the
try
drinks?
Try it. Which one do you want to try first? Your choice.
Let's start off with the wine.
Let's start off with the wine.
So we have some wine glasses. Do you prefer some ice or?
Yeah, depends how cold it is. Oh no, it's cold.
Okay.
We good. So this is the Maison 9. This was made in Provence.
Okay.
South of France, Provence, and smooth. This was like totally. Everything from the wine was picked out by Post, though. Like, he was really hands-on in this. Like, not just going to the south of France. If you look at the color, like down to the color, like he was sitting with the expert talking about all the stuff that he wanted the wine to have and the taste and the crisp, you know.
Nice. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, this is sweet. This is perfect.
It's not too sweet. It's not too dry. Like, it's right in the middle. Like, I can't explain it. Like, someone said that we were good at this alcohol thing, and I started laughing, saying,
and as you can see, I would agree.
Wine always has, see, this is what I'm trying to say, like, and shout out to something else that we don't know, I'm going to tell the rest of the world. Post's beer is coming soon. So this is why I kind of did this. And the Post beer is because, not in a bad way, but everyone, when Bud Light in the beginning didn't really understand the Post Malone business. I was the one who went to Bud Light in the beginning and was like, guys, we need to have Post and Bud. This is going to be the best way for you guys. Exactly. It's going to be the best way for Bud Light to speak to a younger generation. And if you tell me over the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years that didn't happen.
That transition has been made.
That's one of the transitions. And then the same thing with Crocs. When we did the Crocs deal, Crocs never did a celebrity deal before. I don't want to say or talk about, oh, we did this, oh, we did that. I'm saying that to say these are the things that led me into ownership. These are the things that led me into wanting to have a piece of my own or our own ownership.
Exactly.
And being an entrepreneur from the start, I can't just give it all away, bro.
Yeah.
Or like seize away this moment. When you have your moment, you take that moment and you put your foot on the neck and you don't stop going. You drive. You push that gas fast and make sure that you collect everything and then go back like Monopoly, pass go again. And then go back, pass go again.
Exactly. Once you conquer one mountain, you start again and you go conquer another.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I've taken it. So the wine approach, the wine is different. My phone's blowing up. The wine is different because it's actually Post. The wine is different because you can drink this at dinner. I mean, tequila you can too, but this is, you could drink this in the afternoon. You could drink this at dinner. It's like the same with Seltzer. Like, you could drink it in the afternoon, a rooftop party.
No matter
tequila,
what
you could drink it any time, but there's a you could
Exactly.
go on party. You could go on party.
It's
Tequila
time and place.
Yes.
Time and place.
But this right now is like
very smooth. Speak about so many entrepreneurship ventures. Let's talk about how that even began. Where did you get the inspiration, the drive, those intangibles that started? Because you're Dre London today, but I want to talk about the Dre London
before. He was even before French Montana said, "Do you know Dre London?"
Exactly.
London from Dre?
Before you come
Dre
to the
London?
States, the guy who's in the UK and figuring it out and decides to make the transition. Who's that guy?
The truth is, I was a young guy from Brixton, South London, and Angel Town Estate, and I started on the corner like most guys in America. You'd be surprised. Most people wouldn't believe that you have somewhere that you could call a corner, a block, a housing estate, housing projects, whatever. But I was full proof of someone who came from a housing projects, and had grandma backing, like as in grandma love, mother. Like, I had a good family, but like, and it was working class, but it wasn't like, oh, I want that, I can have it. It was like mom had to work hard to get whatever, so we had to try and survive any way we could. And you'd say, I don't know, it's probably when I got kicked out of school at 15 years old.
Really?
That I probably, everything woke up.
What happened what led to getting you kicked out of school?
You could say, I would say now I'm a grown, such a grown man.
You're successful. That doesn't even matter.
But now I look back and I'm like, okay, it makes sense. But today I use it for my advantage.
Yeah, that's your
but
field.
back then it was bad at school. So they called me an instigator.
Really?
So I was good at instigating or bad at instigating, if that made sense. We would have fun and have a laugh, but like a substitute teacher came in
Mm-hmm.
and she was writing on the chalkboard. I would tell the other kid to throw something at the chalkboard. The whole class is laughing. It wasn't me who threw at the chalkboard,
But you
I
started.
was I was that kind of a guy. And let's just say the instigation led to instigations of different instigations. That by the time all the instigations led up,
Domino effect.
yeah, it was a domino effect. It was like, we can't catch this guy. Do you know how I got kicked out of school, bro? It was an incident like that. It wasn't that incident in particular. I can't even remember. But it was some form of an incident like that. And they made everyone in the class write down. They made everyone in the class snitch and write it down and fold the paper and put it into a jar.
Wow.
This is what I'm going to show you. So this is actually a tequila glass, bro. It looks like a champagne glass, but it's not. Look how it's shorter.
Oh, yeah. You got the branding on it.
Yeah, look how it's shorter. Yeah, this is coming soon. We're going to show people across the world just the class of drinking tequila. So I discovered this in Mexico. I've been going to Mexico for over 2 years now. And this is a real tequila glass. Actually, so you can smell it while you're drinking it. It's not long like a champagne or flute. Yeah. It's like shorter. And this is what I'm going to be bringing to the world. I'm going to be bringing to the world in gift packs. This, that, a few lucky people will get it. But exclusives, a few exclusive parties. But we'll be drinking out of the official tequila glass. And someone would look at this and say it's champagne, but if you look, it's totally different.
Exactly. It's a shorter.
So this is what I'm going to have you trying the tequila out. This is good for wine.
Got it.
This is good for,
Got it. Nice chill.
Yeah.
Friday night,
nice
fireplace.
Vibe,
Exactly. Now, I'm just going back to your beginnings really quickly. Getting kicked out of school. What is everyone's reaction around you? Because they see you, you're the big instigator of the classroom.
Everyone in the class or everyone at home?
Everyone at home. Everyone at home.
Oh.
What is their reaction?
Oh, everyone at home. Not everyone at home. My mom.
Mm-hmm.
Her reaction, like I have a strict mom. Like I've been had a strict mom. Like my mom's not a walkover. So, like for my mom, she was pissed. She made it seem like it was the end of the world. Yeah. Like me.
Thank you.
Getting kicked out of school. Also, as well, every weekend I used to like to go to my grandma's. Okay. Because my mom, what happened was, So what happened was my mom moved out of the hood, kind of. If that makes sense. Moved to an area that wasn't Brixton, and it was like Catford. It was called Catford, Lewisham. And thank you, sir.
It's good.
Can go more. This is Don Londres, bro. This is the smoothest of the smooth. Yeah, we good right there. Perfect. You're about to taste the smoothest Blanco you've ever tasted. Ever.
Really? I'm gonna hold you to it.
This is made by the Francisco Gonzalez and Francisco Gonzalez Jr., the first makers of premium tequila.
Really?
Ever. Like, they changed the game in tequila. I'm not gonna go into the whole history. You can Google it for all those people at home that like to do their research, but this is the smoothest Blanco you will taste. Reposado's coming out in the fall, and Nejo comes out next year. Nice. I'm very proud of this. I'm proud of everything we do. I'm proud of everything that we do, or that I do, or that my team does. I'm proud of everything, but this one, it's just, I don't know, man.
You got a little sparkle in the eye when you looked at the bottle. That's like the baby right there. That's like the favorite child.
You're in the office. You're in the space, like the energy center where we are right now. This is where this design came from. I have a 3D machine in the back room, bro. Like, this is like real. Like some of the kids you saw downstairs while you were coming in, that's what they do, bro. Wow. Like this is the incubation center. Like I have Jacob downstairs. Jacob does all these crazy circumference numbers that I'm like not crazy to. We're going back and forth. Shout out to Milo, because he had a 3D machine first. And we were going back and forth during the pandemic, sending the acrylic 3D back and forth in an Uber. Go out, giving the guy Uber in the back, him going and making the bottle and trying to make it right. Like this is really, really fully Los Angeles made, created, the bottle, everything from this is like, I can't explain, just the energy from it, bro.
No, definitely. Cheers.
Cheers.
You're right. I can't lie. You're right. You're right. This is it.
You had the same reaction as T-Pain. It's crazy. There's a video now out here. You'll see it soon. because we've been around the country and we've been traveling and we've done a few shows in the last few months, and people have seen that I bring Don Londres everywhere, and T-Pain had the same face. He said, because you want to not like it. Like, it's not, I'm not saying that. I'm going in with no expectations. But that's how T-Pain said, I wanted to hate on it. He said, like, but like, bro, it really is pure when you taste it. Like, it really has, like, there's no Blanco like this, especially in the price range of what this is and what we're doing. We're bringing luxury to affordable luxury to the market. What creates luxury? We are hip hop. We are luxury.
Exactly.
Today, I feel like this is about to be the first tequila of hip hop culture today. For the generation of today.
I think people heard it here first. Now, just going back to a little bit of the entrepreneurship drive. You, of course, you know, beverages, tequila. You're entering that game and you're conquering it as everything else. Your first entrepreneurship venture. Talk about that. Coming from London, music and fashion. How do you combine the two? Why even
my first entrepreneur ever? Or my first entrepreneur after doing it? Or you mean ever?
I would say
back
ever.
Home, like ever London?
I would say ever that led you to music and fashion.
There's so many different things. Like back home, I was a hustler. Like today, weed is gentrified. And I'm not ashamed to say it because today everyone smokes weed. But back in the day, it wasn't gentrified. You used to get a weird look for smoking weed. But like, I came from the era of selling weed at school before leaving school, bro. Like, I had it in me from a young age. Like while the kids was going to buy to the store to go and buy, like, we call it Nutriment. You guys call it what you call it? The milk juice. Like it's like a milk.
Is it like Yoo-hoo?
No,
or like
we call it Nutriment. What do you guys have it here too?
Not chocolate milk.
No, it's a supplement kind of drink.
Oh man, I can't even think of it.
I can't remember right now either, bro. Someone's gonna remember at home. But like, they used to go like
Nesquik. Like
no,
Nesquik.
It's like Nesquik, but it's not. But it's more healthy for you. What's the vanilla one,
bro?
The Americans drink. Everyone in America drinks it, bro. The vanilla. Okay, not everyone drinks it.
Yeah. I'm not even a milk guy.
Bro. There's a drink that I can't remember. It's like a. If I looked up online, I could probably find it.
Okay.
But it's the equivalent.
Don't tell me you were selling that.
And people know.
Okay.
So what would happen was the kids everyone smoked weed as a young kid. But I was the one, for me, going to school, and shout out to everyone at Battersea Tech, shout out to everyone at William Penn, like, I was the kid that it was cool, but I didn't want to be the guy just smoking the weed. I wanted to know, like, my pocket money was going every day on weed or on spliffs, because we would sell spliffs. That's where I first learned supply and demand. Because I'm like, hold on, these kids are gonna buy it and spend their lunch money. So in some way, I was the hustler that took the lunch money and then went to McDonald's while they was going to the corner store and buying the same juice I was selling you for lunch. I'm trying to tell you what the name.
No, listen. It's a process, and I feel like it's not.
When you ask where does it really come from, like hustle started at school, but the things I was doing at school was a little different. And anyone who says they were 15, 16 years old or 14 years old in the UK or even in America never had a joint outside school, had a joint before, I'm sorry, I'm not condoning it. It was just my life. So I had to think, okay, where do we go from here? Did I think that guy then would lead to this guy today?
No.
But
it's all about the intangibles, though.
Correct.
Not necessarily the tangible process that you're implementing those aspects to, but at the time. But it's about how do you keep that intangible, keep that same mentality and apply it to different things, which you did.
Yes, that hustle took me to the top. Well, I won't say the top, but the hustle took me to where we are today.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when you apply that same hustle to discovering artists, what do you even look for? Let's start with French. What do you even look for, and what did you even see in him that combined that intangible?
The French Montana thing was a whole different thing. Like, not that I take claim for French or anything like that. We're very close, this, that, but like, I was one of the first guys around that I'm like, okay, apart from Gabi, I was one of the first guys around that put my foot down. Shout out to Gabi. Like, put my foot down. I was like, bro, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, because I seen it from the UK. See, a lot of people don't know the history of hip hop, and a lot of the kids today that might not know the history of hip hop. But like hip hop before the internet, before YouTube, there was DVDs.
That's a fact.
Smack DVD,
Man.
Cocaine City DVD. I could go and name so many more.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of people don't know that that's the era that I came from. Most people in this room don't even know that. And they're eating off hip hop today. And this is what I'm going back to referring to. I won't go back to the alcohol, but I'm just saying, 360. A lot of you wouldn't know that I come from that raw hip hop era. Like, and French can say and contest for it because that's where I met French Montana. He had Cocaine City DVD. I had an artist from the UK called Soros back in the day. And like, I was going back and forth from New York to London.
Okay.
And I just saw the wave. Shout out to Aguilar, shout out to St. Lads. There's like, I just saw the wave of like these. I met this artist called St. Lads. That was the first guy the only real music in hip hop that I had. And he knew Aguilar and he knew different guys. And then I can't remember how I got French's number, but I was given to me.
You was running around New York.
I was running around New York, hustling, bro, doing what we do, like you said. Running around New York, and I got his number and I called him and was just telling him, I doing my usual, Dre, He probably was like, what? And I remember the first time I went to Link French, at this time, people didn't even know who French Montana was, unless you was in the underground hip-hop scene.
You had to be in the streets.
This was Nicki Minaj rapping on the stairs. Fendi. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was a history. There was no internet. It wasn't saying these guys were the gatekeepers, but these guys at that era,
they had the platform.
They had the platform of the DVDs that they were shipping across the country, and if you was on this DVD, you was hot. And French used to record all these different artists coming up, or big already, or be in an event, Hot 97 Summer Jam, and he would then showcase himself in the middle, in between all these acts on the DVD. I just thought it was so smart. And I just said, this guy's a hustler.
Exactly.
I saw the hustle mentality. Then when I met him, I saw that he was from Morocco. His dad came, dropped him and his family off in America, turned away. Turned away and left him, his mom, Lowell, and in America, said, figure it out, son. Like, it was just, some of the things that I came across with French was just very, it worked. It resided in my brain of like, okay, he understands not coming from America and just coming and having to make it. So this guy will understand maybe a little bit more of my hustle than just anyone. And then I have to shout out to all his team, Kai, Cocaine City, like all these guys started taking me in. So now I started going to the Bronx, bro. It was like this guy that was staying in Brooklyn and had my cousins in them that did, my cousins came from the reggae sound era in New York, LP International. They used to like clash sounds like King Addies and all these different like Tony Matera and that whole like me and DJ Khaled was talking about it the other day. Like Khaled couldn't believe that was my cousin because Khaled's familiar. He came in through the same. Everyone comes from an avenue.
Exactly.
So I was there trying to figure out how I was gonna get into hip hop. Then I started linking with French. I'm not saying that's how I got into hip hop, but that was the start of the avenue where I bumped into guys like Jay the Kiss and certain guys that is at the top of their platform. And it just started making me, you have to maneuver. I just started maneuvering through these New York streets. And I guess the same London hustle, I took it to New York and it paid off in a certain way. But I also learned, I also had to learn some vital mistakes and some vital lessons.
And what were some of those, well, just one of the most important mistake that you probably made that you learned from throughout that come up process?
Throughout that time and that era, the most important thing I learned was understand the business. Understand just introducing to someone isn't just someone introducing someone to someone. Understand that you gotta protect what you're building and you gotta look at yourself as a brand too. Like at that time I was green. I was just putting people together, putting this together, putting that together. I didn't know what the value of what I was doing at the time. But also, which is good, because being vulnerable, you also kind of follow a yellow brick road that you're not expected to follow, if that makes sense.
No, definitely.
And I started following a yellow brick road, but I had to learn vital lessons in the meantime while going through it. And some of those lessons was introducing different people, bringing people in the room where they make money together.
Yeah.
And I didn't get paid.
What they say, relationship is the best currency.
Best.
If you, to break that cliche down, it's not always what you know, but who you know.
Correct.
I feel like that's the number one thing. They tell us all these different things as a kid while you're growing up. I feel like that's the number one thing they had no lie about. That's no cap.
Yeah, no cap. It's so real, and people don't understand the value of the relationships that they build, but that's your currency today. Exactly. The relationships you build, because if you F that up, you can't go down that street again or cross that bridge again.
Exactly.
So like your relationships hold a lot of value today, and don't burn them by trying to run in too fast or jumping in when you know you shouldn't be asking that person that. If you just got close to a certain person, you're just getting in or you're just figuring it out, like figure it out first. Like I was the quiet guy in the room when French Montana's recording. I'm in the studio quiet, smoking my little joint in the corner, You have to know how to play the quiet guy in the room. I was talking to my boy Andy about the same thing. Like you have to know how to play the quiet guy in the room. Like you have to know what your role is and be confident in your role, but at the same time, play your position, bro. You should know what level you're at when you walk into a room, and everyone knows their level when they walk into a room. Don't play yourself. Walk into a room and don't overplay yourself. You feel me? Like there's levels to this shit, and like you know where you are, so you make moves accordingly to where you are, and keep making your moves in silent, piece by piece by piece, and you start to build. I was the silent assassin. I was the butterfly in the room. They didn't believe it was gonna ever blossom.
There we go.
Like it's different. Like when you see it like that, like you could ask French. French always knew how to hustle. And so you saw him on Drink Champs the other day with Nori, and they came up and they were talking about the hustle of Dre London, like, because Noriega seen the same thing. Shout out to Nori's birthday's on the same day as mine, September 6th. But like, bro, if you saw me coming up, you knew.
He was hustling.
You knew.
He was hustling.
You knew.
He was hustling.
Like, I was talking to someone the other day, shout out to Soraya, like, from Amsterdam, whose door is blowing up right now. We'll talk about that some level later. When you ask me, well, how do I find artists or how do I think artists are special? Her daughter is very special. But like, I asked her a question the other day and I knew what to ask her because people they see her as a momager, or like she's a mom and her daughter's really talented. And then she might say my name or something. And when she says my name, I asked her, what's the reaction? Because people don't know how well she knows me, or that her daughter has known me since she was 7 years old, and now her daughter is 15, 16, like this great artist is growing. But like that.
What's her daughter's name, by the way?
Yumi.
Oh,
I'm sure it's Yumi. Let me make sure, bro. I hope you don't cut that.
That's all good. Yeah, get it accurate. And
I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure that's what it is. But like, bro, yep, correct. Okay. But yeah, Yumi. Her. The other day, Lil Kim called her a mix between Aaliyah and I met her. Yeah, Lil Kim had an event in New York a couple months ago. Yes, yeah, okay. And so she's a mix between Aaliyah and Travis Scott kind of guy. And she is, and she produces. This artist produces, and like she wasn't even coming in. I think she made a joint for the Young Thug and Chris Brown. Yes. Yeah. She produced.
Okay,
so you do your research.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. Listen, I'm plugged in.
Shout out to you. I'm just saying, at the end of the day,
and she could dance. She could move.
Yes,
she could
bro.
move.
Yeah.
I met you. Yep.
And like, I asked her mom something the other day that was like very important to me that most people wouldn't believe that I would ask. Going back to the question, like, don't confuse my confidence for cocky. I'm not cocky.
I call it self-assurance.
It's such a fine line that people can confuse. I'm very confident in my ability, and so should you. I don't need to feel a surety from somebody else to walk in the room. When I walk in the room, you feel my energy. And people can get it confused with confidence, 2 C words, confidence and cocky. I'm confident. I'm not really cocky. I'm actually humble. Exactly. To tell you the truth, I'm really, really humble guy, bro. I just I'm a humble, confident guy. And sometimes if people are insecure in themselves, they could take it the wrong way.
That's where it is. Like,
so that's why I asked her. I'm like, hey, what do people say after that? She's like, people say you're cocky. Like I said, people say I'm cocky or confident. They mix it up. And she said, yep.
There we go. But at the end of the day, that's none of our business. However way they perceive us is none of our business. We're going to continue to be our self-assured selves and get it done.
Correct. That's the main thing to me, what you just said at the end. Getting it done.
That's it.
It's all about results.
Yeah.
What else matters? What else matters? I ain't got time. If you got time to sit down in the corner and talk about another guy and you're not getting, that doesn't lead to you getting results, why are you even talking about him? Unless talking about that guy is leading to you getting some money, doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Now, cheers to that.
Now, I was watching the previous interview that you did, and you said two things that are extremely important: information and service. Speak on those two things and why the combination that makes it so important.
What a great question, bro. So, for me, it's like, this is such a good question. It's the opening of both of them, me answering. I don't know which one to answer first because I'm so itching. Information or the service? To me, let's start with information. Information is education. When I used to hear knowledge is power, I never used to really understood the power of Black people saying knowledge is power. I didn't really understand it until I got older. It took me many years to understand the 3 words, knowledge is power. I didn't get it, bro. I got it, but you hear it and like you've seen movies, knowledge is power. And you're thinking, okay, knowledge is power. But bro, when you really understand the power of them 3 words, it's the information.
Yep.
That's what information is. Knowledge is power. So information to me is, okay, I might have dropped out of school. Okay, I might not have been the smartest guy. Okay, people might, not me particularly, I'm saying you could be someone at home, someone picked on at school, someone this, that. Yeah. Information is going to change your life. Mark Zuckerberg had the information. Bill Gates had the information. Jeff Bezos had the information. Elon Musk had the information. I could keep going on. Oprah Winfrey had the information. Tyler Perry had the information.
Dre London got the information.
Right now, that's what information is to me, bro. You got to learn from mistakes and gain the information that helps you be able to teach your kids tomorrow what we didn't learn today. There's things I know that my mom doesn't know, bro. And it's like, no offense to my mom or my grandma. It wasn't their fault. It was the timing and where we were coming from in our life. They did the best they could, bro. But the best I could was to learn from what I learned from them and absorb as much information as I can. Because when I absorb that information, it makes me more powerful. Because I can now react off of different things happening in the world, off of the information and the experience. Because information brings you experience. You can't move a certain way if you didn't have the information. You could read certain books and then something happens, you know how to react off of it. If that's your thing. There's just so many different ways that information can fill you. And that word information is another level. Bro.
Major key. Like Khaled would say, major key.
Like Khaled says, major key, information. And then service, bro. Yep. They both work for each other. Because information, I just mentioned all that thing, but then you ready for this? You ready?
What's up?
Service. You want to be the best serviceman or best servicewoman you could be in the world. You know why? It leads back to the same people I just mentioned. The best servicemen in the world. Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Bezos. I can name you again and again. If you're not trying to be a serviceman, then what are you doing out here? You're never going to be a boss. Every single boss was a serviceman. They was the help. I was the quiet guy in the corner in the studio. When they asked me to grab something for French, you think I didn't go and grab it, bro?
Ran and got it.
I'm just saying. I might have not ran, but I went to get it. And like, you gotta know your position. Like I told you, at every level, yes, I was the guy that went to the store too. Yeah. You gotta be a serviceman. If you can't be a serviceman at every level and show how you can kick the next door open of serviceman level or servicewoman, I don't mean it by just saying, you kick that door open, every single level you go to, you can be a better serviceman and the best serviceman in the world, or the richest people I've ever seen in the world, or met too, because I've met some of them. I've met some billionaires, bro. And that's why I learned about service. I met like, I don't know, man, over 10 billionaires, bro. And like,
Sheesh.
there's only a few, and there's only, I don't know how many in America. I could tell you some numbers. I don't want to get into that because every year it changes. But every time I've met them, they might be excited or like things that I'm doing because of my energy. And billionaires make money off of millionaires. Don't get that twisted. Billionaires need millionaires because millionaires, they're what's going on right now. For millionaires making or doing things and moving to a certain level, or has his own Tequila, Don Londres coming in, has his own one. This guy is moving and shaking or something. The billionaires look over like,
what are they doing over there? How can I be a part
over
of
there?
that?
How can that be about? How can I help you? How can I be of service to you? How can I make my service open up to your service that provides a service for us that makes more money, which makes them look good to the other servicemen at the top, maybe on the Gulf, maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
But like there's levels to being a serviceman. And I call management a service. You are providing a service. You are a serviceman for your artists.
Yeah.
I'm a serviceman for my brands. But I'm not really taking on many artists at this time, bro. You know why? Because I want to be the best serviceman I can be, and the best serviceman can't take on too many things. I need to be the best serviceman to Don Londres, to Liquid Assets, to the different things we have going on, to all the other brands that's going to be built around different artists. I need to be able to provide that service and be the best serviceman that I can be.
Exactly. Now.
So you see why influence service, why that was so.
That's perfect. Exactly. That's why I asked the question and you explained it so eloquently. You answered it perfectly. Listen, you literally did. Now you speak of management as a service job.
Yeah.
What does Manager of the Year mean to you?
Wow. That was a big thing, man. The first year I got it, I had it twice. The first year I got it was 2018, and that was a big thing to me because it wasn't a big thing, but it was a big thing because there was a recognition for something I did. I do a job where people don't see.
Yeah.
I do a job that
But you really do your research.
Yeah, like I do a job that like some people it's not appreciate. Like, what does he do? Like, it's a management job. It's like actually doing everything.
Yeah.
Today, it's taking care of everything, running the artist's business, running his tours, it's so many things that when I got that, it was like, okay, now that was like the stamp for me. That was like the stamp on the corner of the envelope. Okay, you arrived, you came, you saw. I won't say you conquered, but you came, you saw, and you're here. You pulled your hat down.
Gotcha.
And that's how I felt like when I first got Manager of the Year, and then having it again, only reassured, like, okay, so I'm really like not playing around with this.
Was the second time the Conquer came so and conquered?
Yes. It was like, okay, now the Manager of the Year is beautiful and it's great. Now, like, I need to be Businessman of the Year. I need people to see things in a whole different light. Like now I have conversations with different people. I don't want to go into or call out some people's names, but some guys in these conversations don't like to be called in or interviews and stuff. But like now I'm looking on the other side. Now I'm trying to see what we can change for our generation after me. Right. I want to be able to change the perception of what people that look like me are looked upon in this business. I want to be able to have a guy that's watching this interview that wants to be me or wants to be something in my position in the future. I want him to see that the door is opening now. That like I'm helping open the door for someone like him or her to be able to be heard and to be believed. Because there's a certain point where no one believes you in this business, bro. You could be falling on deaf ears. It doesn't matter. It
happens to the best of us. I mean, we literally the best of the best. I mean, we all watched the Genius doc. We literally saw it. Saw it. So I mean, you even explaining your story. The guy in the back smoking a spliff. Yo, Dre, go to the store. I'm gonna go.
They didn't even say go to the store. That's the thing. They might have mentioned it, and I was the guy who went to the store.
Just because that's what they needed.
Because it was there. It was what was needed. So by the time you asked the third or fourth time, or the second time, I already had it. And like, that's what I say to being a serviceman or a service person. Like, that's it. Like, provide a service. Like, everyone coming into some form of a door should provide a service. If you don't provide a service, then you're trying to take something away from the service.
You're a leech.
Yeah, you're a leech. You're either a plus or you're a minus.
There we go.
Like I have this thing that I say on my Real Inspirations Instagram, like it's results or excuses. You're either gonna be an excuse or you're gonna provide results.
There we go. Now a couple more questions before we I hate to end the conversation because this is amazing, but I love to always ask this question, especially to entrepreneurs. How do you define success? And has that definition changed from when you started to where you are now?
Wow, what a great question. My definition of success isn't a level. My definition of success is when you can take care of your family. My definition of success was, and I'm not saying this for anyone at home, I told you there's a line between cocky and confidence. My definition of success was forgetting that I already paid for my mom's house. I already bought the house and I didn't even remember. That's when you say, okay, I think I'm successful. Like back home when I was in England, I couldn't think of buying my mom's house outright. Like I was going through some accounting 6 months, maybe a year later, and I'm like, hold up, I have the deed somewhere. Like I bought the house. Yeah. And that's what I call the definition of success. It doesn't matter what level you get to. The definition of success to me is taking care of the family that brought you here, taking care of your mom, taking care of your dad, taking care of your sibling. If you have a child, making sure your child goes through college, goes through university. Like that's what the definition of success is. Being able to hold your own and being able to pass down to the next generation. Yeah. Doesn't matter the level of it. That's what success is to me. Everyone has a different level of comfortability, bro. There's rich and then there's wealthy.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
It's two different things. Don't get it confused. It's two different things.
It's two different things, bro. I've seen some wealthy guys and the way they move is different.
Yeah, they're not moving like the rich ones.
No. Me, I gotta move one thing from here to here to here to here to here.
Exactly.
Like everything is in for me. Like I'm still that hustler back at school. Everything goes back in the pot to try and keep it going.
Yep.
But I've seen some guys who like have that put down and they just play with their little play money. They have their Monopoly play and that's wealthy. That's the difference. And that's success, bro. But like success for everyone has a different level. For me, as I said, success is totally just taking care of your family. If you've gotten to a position where you can now take care of the loved ones and make sure that they're good, they have a roof over their head, that they don't have to worry about waking up in the morning to go to work, to go make sure that they have a roof over their head. Don't get me wrong, they should be getting up and going to work because I'm not into no lazy shit. That doesn't bring no results. But like you should be able to make it easier, you know? Like shout out to my sister, it's her birthday today. It's so crazy. My sister in London, Tiani, it's her birthday today. I just bought our house last week. Like, so that's how this kind of that's success, bro. It's my sister's birthday today and I bought her a house last week. That's how I define
early
success.
Birthday present.
Yes. That's how I was in an auction awake sipping Don Londres, which is, don't be in an auction and sip Don Londres online, buying a house at the same time. But it went well. They went well.
That's perfect.
And yeah, that's how I define success. She's now studied for 4 or 5 years to be a teacher. She's now going to be a physical ed PE teacher. Yeah. She's moving from where she studied school up north, which is 4 hours away, to be closer to the family, to come back to London. And she didn't know what she was going to do, and she was panicking and this, and she didn't have no clue what's next. Big brother jumped in.
As you should.
Make sure she was good. Make sure and I'm not giving it to her, and she can watch this and tell you, like, I'm not giving it to her. Like, hey, she's going to work and maintain it and do the same things, but she has a start that she doesn't have to depend on anyone. That she can have a start and learn how to save money from her job to where she's not paying off a mortgage. That's how I define success. And that's not showing off. That's a part of the confidence I'm telling you about. That's not cocky. That's like taking care of your family. That's what I'm trying to, but that's the difference between confidence and cocky. Like I'm telling you, confidence is taking care of your family. Confidence is taking care of your people for the next generation. That's confidence.
Exactly. That's actually humble.
Yeah,
that's humility right there.
Bro.
Taking care of your family. And the only thing I would add to that, to the definition of success, is to be my definition, in addition to take care of your family, is being in the best position possible to give out as many opportunities as possible.
Yes. Wow. Wow.
That's my definition.
And I love that definition.
And I know that
vision.
yeah.
That's Dre vision, bro. That's Dre vision. I don't want to talk about it like this. Films and biopics and all kind of stuff being made. It's like that's Dre vision you just spoke. When you find out how many people I gave their first chance, that's exactly what you just explained. And
Perfect.
That's what I love. Like, I want to be able to be someone who could give advice. I want to turn around and say, hey, take this advice. Hey, Pia, take this advice. Hey, Mercer, take this advice. I want to be able to say, this is what I see. You could take it if you like it or not. But it's been proven that some people who actually take my advice have gone on to be very successful. I've made a lot of millionaires. I can say that. You heard? I've made a lot of millionaires. And no one can take that away from me. And a lot of first-time millionaires. Me. This black guy from London came to America and made America millionaires. Think about that for a second.
How you let me run it down here? I'm not even from around here.
You feel me?
Straight like that. Straight
Just
like that.
And like, you can't take that away because it's what I did. It's my history. It's what I done. And you can't, and the people who they are, they know who they are. They can't take it away either.
Yeah.
Wow, I met this London mother. Beep. And I actually was a millionaire after I met him.
No, that's amazing.
I could think of maybe 10 that I've made millionaires since moving to America that has been a millionaire after meeting me.
Listen,
And it wasn't before they met me.
And that started with giving them the opportunity, giving them the advice.
Information. Success is what I put down to the information, bro, and being a serviceman.
Yep.
Guess what? They might have learned some information from me or connected with the service I provide, and they provided their service like Lego.
It's a match made in heaven, and now they're millionaires.
Match made in heaven, man, like Don Londres.
There we go.
Put the Don, who's in Mexico.
Yeah.
Don means sir. Londres means London, in case you don't know. So when Don met Londres, the older, matured Spanish guy, Mexico, who wants to do business with a guy like me in a pandemic? The timing of Don Londres has a whole different background, bro. I just felt like this was the time to do something different.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to come from a genuine place. So for me going to Mexico when the world's closed, and then going and pursuing this, same thing. So many people told me, like, bro,
Don't
maybe
do it.
you should slow down,
But no, Dre Vision, ain't no slowing down.
Not today.
Ain't no slowing down.
Not today.
It can't be. You haven't come this far to come this far.
Nah, exactly. If it stops, then I feel like, not we all stop, but like then I let down the people who are rooting for me in the back, actually, like, who really are behind me doing the same thing. There's people I know behind me doing different stuff the same, or coming up in their own avenue and taking pieces from here of information to add to their service that turns them into the next we got to. It's important.
Exactly.
And shout out to Don Londres, as I said, man. Smoothest Blanco in the world. Reposado coming in the fall next year, Anejo. We're not just bringing this white bottle. Frosted beige, beautiful bottle is the Reposado.
Different
the black
design.
bottle, the black, the same bottle shape, but every bottle has a different color. The Blanco has the frosted white. The Reposado has a frosted beige, and the Anejo has this frosted black. You already know the black bottle, the boys in the club.
Oh yeah.
It's different.
Listen,
And then you see the eye.
I'm gonna have to test that bottle when
See
it
how we
comes
put
up.
the eye on the agave. So like this, basically people wonder what
That's
this
the
is.
vision.
It's not Illuminati, it's not this, it's not that. This is the agave plant. And I put the eye over the agave because we're watching and making sure it stays this smooth and the quality stays the best sipping tequila in the world. So we have to have the eye over the agave from start to finish. And that's what that is. That's the eye from Drake Vision to Don Londres.
I love that. And on that note, listen, you heard it from the man himself, Dre London. You rocking with Jiggy Jones. Dre, I appreciate the conversation.
Bro,
This has been amazing.
No, bro, fire.
And all the information, like you said, information, service, you bringing it back, giving people opportunities. Like you said, you've made a bunch of millionaires, and they can attest to it by being just connected to you and vibing off you and getting your information through your service. So I appreciate the conversation.
I appreciate you too, bro.
No, definitely. Let's toast to that. You rocking with Jiggy Jones,
You
Dre London.
You already know.